So we are live here on Penguin Beach at the Aquarium of the Pacific, hanging out with Apiculture. Sticking around and joining us this morning. We're live here on Penguin Beach at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Hello, everybody. Testing, testing. Maybe you hear me now. Perhaps. Maybe if I talk really loud close to the phone. How's that? Yay! Oh my goodness. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around with us this morning. It has been a fun morning, full of technical difficulties, but we are having so much fun with you despite everything. Good morning, everybody. We're here live on Penguin Beach at the Aquarium of the Pacific, meeting our Magellanic penguins. Sound so far away. Oh no. At least you can hear me a little bit. I will try and talk even louder than I've ever talked before. Good morning, everybody. We're here live at the Aquarium of the Pacific on Penguin Beach, hanging out with our Magellanic penguins. I'm joined with apiculturist Frankie, who is closest to me. Good morning, Frankie. Good morning. And mammologist Sarah in the background. Hello. And you'll see quite a bit of these two today, as well as our Magellanic penguins. All of our penguins do have names, and they're either named by staff here or staff at the other animal care facilities that they came from, or sometimes we have social media contests, I guess they're called, where we have our social media followers name a penguin, or sometimes our penguins are named by donors. So we're so thankful for every report. We've already raised $43 this morning just hanging out on TikTok Live, and that means so much for us here at the Aquarium of the Pacific as a nonprofit. So today we are celebrating World Ocean Day. We are live for 12 hours. 12 hours is a big day. 12 hours, it is a big day. And so we're going to be live with penguins twice today. So if we don't get it right this time, if you can't hear us very much, that is 100% okay. We will be back at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. And I think you can hear me okay. You might not be able to hear Frankie or Sarah. So I will probably ask questions to Frankie and Sarah and then relay them back to our live chat here on TikTok Live. So Frankie, how are you able to tell the penguins apart?
Every single penguin has a bead band on their left or right flipper. So Jade here has a bead on her left flipper, orange, white, blue, and Skipper has black, black, orange. He's a boy and she's a girl, and they all have individual colors. But really, they all look a little bit different as well. So some of them have spots, so their personalities are different. Some are tall, some are big, some are round, some are not. It's a fun little game. There's only 21, so we get to spend a lot of time getting to know them all every day.
Yeah, they all each have their individual personalities. And just in case if you couldn't hear her, I will happily repeat what Frankie just said. So all of our penguins have bead bands. And who do I have here closest to me to point out their bead band? This Gats.
Not yet.
I'm bad at this, Frankie. everybody. I'm not covering the mic, I promise. We're just experiencing some technical difficulties, but we will get it right eventually, I promise. Good morning, everybody. We're live here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. Oh, you can hear Frankie. That's good. Just not me. Weird. Very weird. Okay, and Frankie, can you tell us what you're feeding them today?
Yes, I am feeding some herring and capelin. So the herring's a little bit larger.
Wow. Great.
Capelin is smaller, and the capelin actually has more water inside per. What is it per?
Per something.
That's the word.
There you go. It's early.
Water, and then this one actually more. So they have a mixture of these two. But off the coast of Chile and Argentina, they make many different types of fish, jellies, krill, whatever they can find.
Oh, amazing. Incredible. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. We are experiencing some technical difficulties, but we appreciate you sticking around with us. Frankie, can you talk about the lifespan of the Magellanic penguin? How long do they live for?
Yeah, so here in an animal care facility where we have food and water and access to veterinary care and no predators, 25 to 35 years is a pretty great and long lifespan. And in their natural habitat, 10 years old is pretty old.
Yeah, that's amazing. And who is our oldest penguin here on Penguin Beach?
Whatever.
There she is.
19 years old this year.
Oh, amazing. Whatever is our oldest penguin here on the beach. She is 19 years old this year. And who is our youngest penguin on the beach?
Well, we have three. It's a three-way tie. We have Wally, Dee, here's Cleo, and Cleo, and they're 3 years old this year. And all of our penguins hatched the same season, so they all just went up in age this May.
Yeah, so we just celebrated a lot of our penguins' birthday parties recently. Well, coming up maybe in a little bit.
And we make one cake though.
Just one cake for all 21 penguins here on the Aquarium of the Pacific on Penguin Beach. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry about the sound this morning, but we'll be back later today with some better sound. We're going to work on it throughout the day. But in the meantime, I want to learn more about how we can help penguins in the wild, Frankie. How can we best assist penguins in the wild? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about the conservation here at the Aquarium of the Pacific.
Yeah, well, for starters, I've been trying to think about what my answer to that question because it's an important question. And some key things that you want to think about is learning what kind of food you may be eating, so going sustainable, and working on your plastic use. So reusing plastic or maybe not using any plastics at all because all of that, all those microplastics are ending up in the ocean one way or another, and they're coming up in all types of animals from the smallest fish to the largest whales. They're inside of their bodies, and that's not natural. So for us, what we can do is just be really aware and cognizant of the things that we're using. And then here at the aquarium, we have 21 penguins, and 3 of them are currently Brazilian rescues. So unfortunately, due to warming temperatures, we believe that these penguins were stranded way out of their normal range because they followed the fish that followed the water temperature that changed. And so Roxy, Robbie, and Kate are here with us for 10 years now. And they're all doing very well, and they were deemed non-releasable due to their own individual injuries. So we were able to take them in and have all of our penguins be ambassadors and raise awareness for not only penguins but the ocean as well.
That's amazing. Hey, Sarah, we are actually going to transition to the Explore Cam. Do you mind grabbing the mic? Or I can take over.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. We're going to try that out. Okay, stay tuned. We're going to test out and see if we have a better option. So you can hear us because we really want to teach you all about our penguins this morning. Good morning, everybody. Everyone's saying, can't hear you, Miss Lady. Good morning, everybody. You can hear me. You're good at hearing me. Okay, stay tuned.
Free pause, please look at
Pause.
or at
Testing, testing. We are on the beach. Hello to Anita and Explore.org. Good morning. Hello to TikTok. Hello to Penguins. Do you have anything to say about this? No comment? Admiral does not like. Okay. It's about a 2-minute lag.
That's true.
Ah. I'm here. Good morning. Hi, Madeline. Alrighty. Well, hi, everyone. I am going to reintroduce myself and the people around me. I'm waving to the Explore.org camera. And I have mammologist Sarah, myself, Frankie, and our social media wonder superstar, TikTok extraordinaire, Madeline, running the camera and questions. So if you have any questions, are we running this on TikTok? And okay, please go over to our TikTok live and have any questions. Happy World Ocean Day. Thank you so much for troubleshooting with us. Madeline's key line is water and Wi-Fi aren't always friends, and today sound wasn't our friend. We're working through it. But today I'm surrounded by some of our fun Magellanic penguins. I've got Wally, Cleo, Dee, Gats, and many more in front of me. And we are starting off our morning with some food. Now, they've already kind of thought the feed was over, so we're going to just start feeding again and see if more birds come back up to us. But I'm an aviculturist here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, which is a fancy word for zookeeper for birds. So I work here primarily with our aquatic birds, and we are located here in Southern California, Long Beach, California, at the Aquarium of the Pacific on the June Keys penguin habitat. So with that being said, do we have any questions? Do we ever have any baby penguins? We do. In fact, 13 of the penguins we have on the beach here today are penguins that were raised here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. However, we have not had any chicks in 3 years. Cleo, Wally, and Dee, Cleo's over there. Who's here? Oh, Gats. These 3 were all raised here. And Cleo, Wally, and Dee are our youngest, being 3 years old. Wally and Gats are showing each other up right now. Not the time, sir. We do not have any emperor penguins. We have Magellanic penguins, and Magellanic penguins do not need snow or ice to survive. So we have Magellanic penguins, which can be found off the coast of Chile and Argentina, swimming in colonies of tens to up to hundreds of thousands of birds, and they may nest or swim. So emperor penguins do require snow and ice and cold temperatures to survive. And right now we just don't have that. So for now we have our Magellanics. Yeah, so the question was, can I talk about the season we're in with our Magellanic penguins? So right now we have just exited our breeding season. So we had all of our birds into their burrows and nest boxes. They were able to lay some eggs, everyone paired up, including all of our youngsters. We saw the most eggs we've ever had as a colony, because this is the first time we've had as many mature birds in our 11-year history in our June Keys penguin habitat. So it's been a pretty exciting year, but now we're kind of phasing out of breeding season. There's a few territorial disputes, but mostly they are figuring out what is next. So they're in the water, on land, taking care of their feathers, but the next big season is molt. But that won't happen for about 2 or 3 months. How long can a penguin swim underwater? They don't need to spend a lot of time underwater, so usually less than a minute, but I believe between 2 and 5 minutes is a maximum for penguins. And that might be if they're swimming down, finding that fish, and then really just surfacing. So they're not doing a lot of deep dives or anything like that. How many penguins do we have here at the Aquarium of the Pacific? We have 21 Magellanic penguins. Most of them were raised here at the aquarium. 3 of our birds are Brazilian rescues. They were deemed non-releasable 10 years ago off the coast of northern Brazil. And the rest of our penguins came to us from other facilities throughout the years. And that is how our fun colony has come together since 2011. That's Mr. Skipper. Mr. Skipper is on the water's edge preening. So he's taking care of his feathers, and that's actually something that penguins and a lot of birds spend most of their day doing, just maintaining those feathers so they can stay nice and waterproof. Do they sleep in the water? Yes, they can sleep in the water. They can sleep standing up. They can sleep laying down. They can sleep in their burrow. They do take quick bursts of sleeps. They don't have the 8-hour beauty rest that we may get sometimes. Good question. How old do penguins get and how long can they live? This is a two-parter question. Penguins in their natural habitat can live roughly 10 years old. Once they get past that first year of just learning how to survive, they're usually pretty solid, and 10 is a pretty old age. In an animal care facility where we have access to food, water, veterinary support, and no predators, 25 to 35 years. Oh, here's Gats here, just taking a nap mid-presentation.
So Frankie, can you tell us about where our penguins come from and kind of their conservation story?
So the question was, where do our penguins come from and their conservation story? So we have had many of our penguins hatch here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. 13 birds since we opened have hatched here and been raised here. And I did touch on it. A couple of birds are actually rescued birds, so they were stranded and deemed non-releasable. So their normal range is off the coast of Chile and Argentina, South America. And if you can place that, or maybe do a quick search of Chile and Argentina, that is pretty far away from Brazil. So these birds were found in Brazil, most likely following a school of fish, and then ultimately they were stranded with a couple of issues. So we were able to come in and step in and help. And additionally, we've been able to send a few employees over to South Africa to help with the care and rehabilitation and releasing of our South African penguins in their natural habitat. That's a big, awesome conservation trip. But other than that, we spend a lot of time educating and allowing these penguins to be ambassadors for not only Magellanic penguins, but for all penguins. Hello.
Amazing. Are these penguins friendly?
Are they friendly? I would say so. Here's Wally. Wally, I don't know if you can see me. Hi. Wally is on my lap. And they can be mean and territorial and aggressive. And if you've been watching our 24/7 live stream camera on explore.org, you may have seen some disputes lately. And that just comes with being a penguin. They want to protect their burrow, and as they exit the breeding season mode, they start to let go of their whose burrow is who. But for now, they're just figuring it all out. Dee is very fascinated with my hand right now. I'm going to give her a fish.
Quick question. Do penguins recognize you or have favorite caretakers?
Do recognize me or have favorite caretakers? I think they might. I think they know our voice, and they definitely know what color shirt I'm wearing.
Do penguins bite?
Yes, penguins bite. And anything with a mouth can or will bite. So you should always assume that. But they don't have hands to swat you away if you're annoying them or if they feel threatened. So they will bite. And they have a beak. I'm going to start feeding again. So you may see me with a larger fish that is a herring and a small fish that is a capelin. I have mammologist Sarah with me today, and she's actually writing down every single fish that all of our birds are eating. And it's very helpful. Are their feathers soft or rough? That's a wonderful question, mostly because a lot of people forget that penguins are birds. They're very soft. They have over 75 feathers per square inch. And when they are as dry as they possibly can be, they are very soft and fluffy. Their bands are a way to identify which penguin is which. And take a break from feeding because they are not actually eating, they're just playing. So each band is, if it's a female, it's on their left side. If it's a male, it's on their right side. So that's one quick way to figure out if it's a boy or a girl.
Can you tell them that they can watch our explore.org cameras and link in our bio?
I can. You may see a link in our bio. We have explore.org cameras not only above water, which is the camera you're seeing me on, but also underwater. And that's not just the penguins that we have on display on explore.org. We also have some of our tropical habitats like our Big Trop, Shark Lagoon. We have jellies, and even our tallest tank, our blue cavern. So there's lots to see online, but especially our Magellanic penguins.
That might be your favorite.
It's my favorite camera, yes.
How do you remember who is who?
How do I remember who is who? They all come with personalities, and right now is a good example of that. I've got 3 that are just here with me. And then they're usually at the bucket first, and then I've got some that take their time coming to the bucket. I've got some that are taller, shorter, skinnier, chubbier. We just work through it, but if I'm in an actual small, tiny pinch, I will take a glance at their band, and that just helps us out last minute.
Well, and how do you make sure everybody eats?
How do I make sure that everybody eats? Well, we actually have a flow chart, and as you can tell this morning, they're not all eating a whole bunch right in this moment, but we write down every single fish that they eat. And we've worked really hard to make sure that they are all getting all of the nutrients that they need in a day, including a daily vitamin and an every other day anti-malarial preventative medicine. Because we are an outdoor habitat, we do have to worry about avian malaria and other things that mosquitoes may carry. So they get that every other day.
What's your favorite part about working with penguins?
What is my favorite part about working with penguins? I think it's just some of the fun moments where you just get to be out here with the penguins, or sometimes we're behind the scenes and they just come up to you and they just want to be around you. But really my answer is allowing the guests who come in to see them and meet them and hearing their stories about how they met a penguin, or they knew a penguin, or they named a penguin. It's very fun for me. Oh my gosh, yes, of course. Hello everyone, my name is Frankie and I'm one of our aviculturists here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. And today I have with me mammologist Sarah and Madeline, who's running the cameras and questions. And I am one of the caretakers for our aquatic birds. So I work here with our Magellanic penguins. We've got some diving seabirds inside and even some shorebirds next door. So we have a bunch of fun animals here. And although we are an aquarium, we do have our feathery friends. And yes, penguins are birds with feathers.
I know someone mentioned that. Someone asked that in the comments that they were birds. What about their health care here at these birds?
Yeah, that's a great question about their health care. So I did mention a moment ago that they get every other day an anti-malarial preventative medicine for avian malaria. But on top of that, we are watching for daily assessments if we notice that anything is abnormal. But annually, they get a full checkup. So if you think about what you may see at a doctor, they are checking over the eyes, their nares, their nose, their mouth, their body condition. Are they skinny? Are they round? Are they just right? We're looking over the entire body through radiographs, blood checks and values, and just really making sure that we understand what they're going through every single year. So we'll do that once a year, and usually it's during our migration season.
Frankie, how do you get, if you want to work with animals like penguins all day, how do you
I actually am going to take a moment to let mammologist Sarah answer, because I have heard her answer and she's got a really good one. I'm going to pass it over if that's okay with you.
Can you repeat the question?
Sorry, what was the question again? How do you become an animal caretaker? This is a great question. So here we are, mammal and bird staff. So I'm going to relate it a little bit towards our mammal side. But basically what I did was I worked as an intern at about 3 different facilities, this being one of them. I really started out by tagging sharks on a NOAA boat, got that volunteership. Then from there, started applying to places, became an intern from there, just really loved it, moved around back and forth from both coasts before I finally got hired on here about 5 years ago. So Frankie and I actually started a very similar time. And Madeline, yes, oh yes, I always forget that. I am sorry. We all had the same start date, so we can't get rid of each other. And so really what you have to do is really do a lot of volunteerships, internships, anything to help kind of get used to what it's like working around animals, because it's really different. A lot of people think that we just sit and play with the animals all day, but it's a lot of cleaning, it's a lot of sorting their food. This morning we spent about an hour going through all of the fish, making sure that it's nice quality. Thank you there, Dee, for playing with my shirt during my question. Make sure that it's nice, good quality. Also getting scuba certified for us to make sure that that we can dive our exhibits, clean our exhibits. A lot of it is really also learning what the anatomy of an animal is like, how to look at them, how to see their behavior, observing. All of that stuff is really, really important. And that's kind of some of our key focuses every single day.
Thank you, Sarah. I always forget you started on a NOAA boat. That's very cool. Our oldest and our youngest penguin. We have two of our youngest penguins right in front of me, Dee and Wally. They are 3 years old. And our oldest penguin is Whatever. You may have seen her up at the bucket a little earlier if you've been tuning in for that long. And she is 19 years old this year. You guys hungry?
What are you feeding them?
I'm feeding some capelin and herring. Right now, Wally's about to eat a bunch of capelin. He likes capelin.
Oh, what a good eater.
He is a good eater.
Are some penguins picky?
We do have some picky eaters, but I have spent the last several months trying to open up their diet so they all will eat both types of fish, but Whatever likes to only eat capelin. And that's okay.
Can you give a shout out to our 9 donors who raised $100 today?
Yes, shout out to our 9 donors who have raised $100 today. Thank you so much. Every single penny goes to our nonprofit institution to help and care for not only our Magellanic penguins, but all 13,000 animals that we have here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach, California. Do the penguins know their names? I think that Shim knows his name. I think that Floyd knows his name, and I think that Robbie knows his name. Kate knows her name. These are all of our older birds but I don't know. The other birds, they know my voice, but those couple of birds respond. Special guest.
What just happened there? So we're open air.
We are an open air habitat, and one thing, Sarah didn't mention this, we do need to have cat-like reflexes to collect the fish. Sometimes we fall, and that's okay. We are an open air habitat, so sometimes we have intruders, but really they're just neighbors. And if you take a look at our explore.org camera, Penguin Beach, that's us here in the June Keys penguin habitat. You may see throughout the day different types of friends passing by, but those seagulls are very good at collecting herring. It is what it is. I'm going to pass the microphone over to Madeline.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on Penguin Beach this morning, evening, depending on where you are, early afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Madeline. We're on the social media team here at the Aquarium of the Pacific, and we are live for 12 hours today in honor of World Ocean Day. So we are going to head into the next live in just a little bit at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a really exciting live stream. I can't wait for it. We're actually going to be live inside of our tropical reef habitat with a diver. So it's our first time doing a dive stream from inside the habitat. It's going to be amazing. I want to give a special thank you to everybody who's been watching this morning and sticking with us through our technical difficulties. We've had a blast so far, and it will continue to be very, very fun here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We're celebrating World Ocean Day, so we're so excited to teach you more about our world ocean. So stick around. We're going to hop off mic, and you're going to watch our penguins for a little bit longer, and stay tuned for 10 a.m. Pacific time, where we're heading into our tropical reef habitat, which is our largest habitat here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Thank you so much to Frankie. Thank you to Sarah. Thank you to all of the penguins that joined us this morning. And we'll be back with you at 3:30 p.m. today. 3:30 p.m. Pacific, we'll be back with our Magellanic penguins and aviculturist Frankie. Maybe Sarah will be there. Sarah's going to pop up later today with our sea lions and otters and more. We're famous. All right, everybody, we're having a blast, and we will talk to you in a little bit. Stay tuned. Enjoy the feed.